can pray for a lot of things, but if you're not actually putting the work in for it, do you really think it can happen?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was playing games with you.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Tatiana Keo, and today we are talking about college tips and tricks. The reason I'm creating this video is because school is about to start back up, and I know y'all have some questions, especially for those that are attending school in the fall or the ones that are finishing up the spring semester. I would like to start off and say that I attended Elizabeth City State University and I graduated in December of 2021. So basically a month ago. So let's talk about study tips. Tip number 1, always make sure that you are studying. Find your best habit of studying. If you can't study in your room and you know you cannot, do not study in your room. If you know you're best in a quiet space, try to go to the library. If you can't study alone, make sure you find a friend or a peer in your class that you can study with. And here's a bigger tip. You do not have to be in the same class with somebody to study with them. Sometimes it's best that you just have company, but not study the same thing at all. Tip number 2. Once your professor gives you your syllabus, make sure you write down every single assignment. You want to put it in a planner, you want to put it on a mass calendar, which is like physical, and then you also can put it in a digital planner. I would prefer the small planner because that way I can erase as I go, mark out whatever. It's useful for me. That's what got me by. I've also seen people do it on Excel sheet where they write down all of their assignments, put it in red, and then once they've completed it, they put it in green. So it looks like a checklist. Tip number 3, make sure you have a good snack or something to eat. I always try to eat prior to doing my homework because that way I won't be thinking about it while I'm doing my homework. And then if you are gonna snack, try to find something that is gonna be nutritional and something that'll kind of fill you up so that you're not binge eating while studying. Tip number 4, always make sure that you are asking questions. You want to make sure you ask questions because if you don't know something, how do you think that you're going to get it correct? It's not going to work. So try to ask questions whether you're asking a peer or a professor. I personally like to ask a peer first and then the professor because it might have been something that I missed. And tip number 5, always set goals for yourself. Your greatest intention will always be your word. So if you decide that this is the semester that you're going to make all A's, make sure that you say that. Put that in the air and actually put work behind it. You can pray for a lot of things, but if you're not actually putting the work in for it, do you really think it can happen? In some cases, yes. But in most cases, you got to put a little bit of work in. Now, let's talk about finding your place on campus. Campuses are small communities within larger communities. So everybody knows each other, or some people don't know each other, depending on how big or small your community is, your campus. Because it's not about what you know, it's who you know, in some cases. I'm gonna say that again. It's not about what you know, it's who you know. That's my best advice that I ever received when going to college. It's not about what you know, it's who you know. Now, I'm not saying you can go to college and just completely not know anything, never go to class, never do anything but stay in your room. No, I'm not saying that at all. You're in college for education, and that is your main purpose. However, there are other amazing opportunities on campus that are outside of the classroom. You want to make sure that you're talking to people and getting to know them, joining clubs and organizations, because you just never know who these people will become. So there's always opportunity to talk to people, learn things from people that you've never known before. And even if you're not interested in somebody's career or where they're going to be in the future, again, you just never know. So just make sure that you always take advantage of opportunities of getting to know somebody, not for your interest, but just getting to know somebody to let them know that they are very important. Speaking of clubs and organizations, make sure you join them on campus. There are so many things that you can do on campus. I was a part of Student Government Association, and I was able to talk to other students who were a part of SGA in other schools. and I get to learn about what they do on their campuses, how they operate, what we can bring to our school, and how we can make our place a better environment for our students and peers. I was also able to be a student orientation leader. That means that I was able to give tours to students and give them the opportunity to learn from me what I did on campus, which is why I'm putting this out on here again. Now, on a more serious note, let's talk about being the first in your family to go to college. Being the first in your family to go to college is a huge deal. Never, ever make yourself feel less for going to college or for doing something outside of what everyone else in your family is doing. Going to college does not mean that you are high and mighty or whatever the case may be. Whatever they are saying is not true. A lot of times discouraging people come in different shades, and you will never really know who is there for you until you kind of sit back and realize who wasn't. As a first-time student in college, it was very hard for me to kind of navigate and find out things, but in the end, it's so rewarding whenever you can figure it out on your own. And that's why I'm here to pass the knowledge down that you can do anything that you set your mind to. A lot of times people don't like to encourage others, but when you get to college, you'll have a lot of opportunities to find people who are going to always support you, always cheer for you, and never make excuses. Okay everyone, so I hope you enjoyed all of these tips and tricks on how to be a successful student and just learning a little bit more about me. If you have any questions, you can always feel free to message me on my Instagram, which is going to be located at the end of this video. And make sure you check out my last video, which talks about my Disney College Program acceptance. I hope that my tips really helped and that you find yourself with straight A's or grades above C this coming semester or in the fall. And like I said, if you have any questions, make sure you ask me in my DMs and I will make sure to answer them. Bye for now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.